Goomba, Pikachu, Sonic, Chopper. What does Japan think of Chopper in Netflix One Piece Season 2? This is so vile it's funny. If you're gonna have him standing next to real people like in Detective Pikachu, this is about what you get. Make him look too much like anime and he turns into Roger Rabbit. Tomorrow Studios, the production studio behind Netflix's live-action adaptation of One Piece, had a mission going into Season 2. Don't screw up Chopper, because the whole season depends on him not looking like a Five Nights at Freddy's character. After all, not only is the Straw Hat Crew's Reindeer Doctor the star of Season 2's biggest arc, the Drum Island arc, but we've seen countless times how live-action versions of non-human characters can turn these classic characters into something quite grotesque. And even though I'm personally relieved at how Chopper looks and acts in the new trailer, a lot of Japanese fans are still on the fence. He's way too rough and scruffy. I feel like the live-action Chopper could have leaned a bit more towards the Detective Pikachu style. Maybe it's the volume of the fur or just finding the right balance in the design that's tricky. It's low-key nightmare fuel, like the pre-designed movie Sonic. On the other hand, even though Netflix Chopper does have some of that freaky pre-redesigned Sonic vibe, one Japanese internet man puts it like this: "When I saw the thumbnail I thought, yikes, scary. But once I saw him moving and talking, he just looked genuinely cute, and that's pretty amazing." And on top of that, there's another reason why the somewhat creepy style is actually a good thing for hardcore One Piece fans. It definitely has more of a reindeer vibe than the mascotified version of Chopper we have nowadays. It captures the beast-like vibe Chopper had when he first appeared. This feels exactly like the not-too-cute version of Chopper that Eiichiro Oda originally envisioned. I mean, Chopper really was a little freaky when he first showed up in the One Piece manga's Drum Island arc, so if you ask me, here they've actually got the right balance between creepy and cute. Plus, he could still gradually get cuter like in the manga and anime, if the series ever gets past the Alabasta arc. Not to mention that at the rate they're going, he'd be the only cast member who isn't wearing adult diapers by the time we get to the time skip. And of course, let's not forget how he could have turned out. I totally thought they'd mess this up and just make a realistic deer monster, but it actually turned out way better than I expected. It sure did, which reminds me that this is not the first time we've seen a live-action Chopper. At least, not in Japan. Because there was also the Chopper from the Japanese commercials for the job search company Indeed. And yes, you are now looking at a cosplaying reindeer, which might seem a bit strange, except that the truth is, it is totally on point, since it's basically just Chopper in his walk point form, which is how he originally looked way back when he was just a normal reindeer, before eating the human fruit. And while I'm happy to see that they aren't skipping his hybrid form in the live-action series, they really could save a ton of cash on animation if he spent more time in walk point than he does in the manga and anime, which could free up animation budget to do way more crazy stuff with his other point forms, like heavy point, jumping point, guard point, and of course, Monster Point. But for now, I'm just happy that NetPiece Chopper actually looks and feels pretty good, and so is this Japanese commenter. The texture is realistic but still cute, and even though he's not as exaggerated as in the anime or manga, his movements and mannerisms feel just like the original. I really love this and I can't wait to see more. So what do you think? Is Netflix Chopper done right, or is he more Sonic than Pikachu?